You hear me through the same microphone I've used in 3 completely different situations. I've boomed it over a short film, I'm using it above me for studio videos like this, although I have it handheld now, and I mounted it directly on my camera while walking and talking vlog style outside. I changed the connection and recording mode to suit each job because that flexibility is the entire point of this microphone. But after using it in all these 3 different situations, I think one of them is exactly why the SG MS1 was built for. One genuinely surprised me and one showed me where all that flexibility starts to run out. Now, Saramonic sent me the SG MS1, but they have no say in this video and you don't get to see it before it goes live. The SG MS1 is an MS stereo shotgun microphone, and if you're wondering what MS actually means, it stands for mid-side. It's simply a way of recording stereo that gives you more control over how wide or narrow your recording sounds after you filmed it. Inside are 2 separate capsules. The mid capsule listens to what's directly in front of the microphone, while the side capsule listens to what's happening on the left and right. Put the 2 together and you get a proper stereo recording that you can make wider or narrower later. When you connect it through the 5-pin XLR cable like I have here, the microphone sends the mid and side signal separately. That means you can decide in edits exactly how wide you want the final studio recording to sound. So that's the cable connected to the microphone, and I have it in mono. So I have the 5-pin cable connected and it has 2 XLR outputs. One is stereo and one is mono. Currently I have it connected to the mono, and that's why you hear me clearer from the front. So this is it, mic test 1 2 3, and if I move to the side it probably be lower in terms of the volume. Mic test 1 2 3. And what I'll do is disconnect it while we're recording and put it on the stereo side so you can see the difference between speaking this way and speaking that way. So I've now quickly made a disconnection and reconnection, and you can hear the difference. And I'm speaking from the side, and this is from the front, from the side, from the other side, from this side, from the other side. What do you guys think? Alright, so now we are in the mono. USB-C gives you even more flexibility. You can record the original mid-size signals if you want full control later. So I have my iPhone 15 Pro out now, connected via USB-C to C. So if you use the older iPhones, you also are provided a lightning port to USB-C cable, which helps you connect and use this mic, the SG MS1, on your iPhone. I need to show you guys the power of this microphone, this MS microphone, and it has a lot to do with post. But anyways, I've been recording without using the stereo input on the camera and on my Lumix S1II. So I want to show you guys, after deep diving, I was wondering why I wasn't working well. It's because I hadn't set my input capture mode to stereo. Always had it in mono. So now it's on mono using the Blackmagic camera app on the iPhone 15 Pro, recording via the USB-C to C cable. So I'm speaking in front of the mic in cardioid mode. You should hear the pickup pattern in this mode clear when I'm in front of the mic. And when I move to the side, you shouldn't hear me so much. It's rejecting audio from the side and more of audio in front of it, and on this side as well should reject this side and more of what is in front. So very quickly I'll move it to the next mode, which is capturing everything from the front and from the side as well as 140 degrees. And there it should be capturing me loud and clear, same way. So now I'm gonna move this to just the last mode, which should reject what I'm speaking to it from the front and pick up more of the left side and the right side. So you should be hearing me more and clearly here, unlike when I'm in front or behind the mic. So this is it, mic test 1 2 3, mic test 1 2 3, and mic test 1 2 3. It also has a frequency response of 20 Hz up to 20 kHz, which on paper covers everything from deep low frequency ambience right through to the upper end of human hearing. You can run it from 48 volt phantom power, as I have it right now, on a professional audio setup, power it over USB-C, or use the built-in rechargeable battery, which Saramonic rates for up to 5 hours of operation. And the main controls are not all buried inside an app. There is a physical output mode selector just at the top and low-cut filter on the microphone itself, while the Saramonic System App gives you a deeper control over the gain and even lets you adjust the stereo angle from 50 degrees all the way up to 140 degrees when you're recording decoded left-right stereo. That flexibility is one of this microphone's biggest strengths, but also why you need to understand which mode you're recording in before you press record. Get that right and the SG MS1 starts to make a lot more sense. Inside the box is the SG MS1 itself, a hard carrying case, a foam wheel shield, a furring wheel shield for outdoor recording, a USB-C cable, a 3.5mm TRS cable for connecting directly to your camera, the 5-pin breakout cable which I already showed you for professional audio setups, and the usual documentation. One thing I really noticed is the hard case. If you watch my reviews of the Saramonic K9 or K9 XEX, you recognize it straight away. Saramonic has kept the same sort of protective case across its higher end audio product, and I actually like that consistency. It feels properly designed to protect the microphone rather than just being something you throw away after unboxing. More importantly, if you already own other Saramonic audio gear, everything feels like it's part of the same professional ecosystem. Now let's take a closer look at the microphone itself. So I've now switched to the stereo XLR output so you can hear me from the side of the microphone. And physically, the microphone has a solid metallic feel and the controls are positioned where you can easily reach them when you are using it or when it's mounted. There is a power button that needs to be held for a few seconds. I actually like that because it makes it much harder to switch the microphone on or off accidentally. For connections, there's USB-C for charging, digital audio, and app control. There's also a 3.5mm output for connecting directly to a mirrorless camera or any camera of your choice, and a 5-pin XLR connection, which I've showed and talked about it already, at the base for carrying the separate mid and side signals. There's also a nice detail behind the name. On Saramonic's Chinese website, the brand is called Feng Di, which translates roughly as maple flute. That is not technically the SG MS1's model name, but looking at the long fluted design of this microphone, it suits it surprisingly well. The more important question though is whether all these connections and recording modes make it genuinely useful on a real production. Alright, back again to the mono XLR output. I connected the SG MS1 to the Saramonic K9 XEX using its 5-pin cable. That allowed me to record the microphone separately while monitoring everything through the K9 XEX receiver. We were filming at the bus stop in the early hours of the morning with cars still passing around. It was difficult to shoot. For this part, I set the microphone to M mode using the forward-facing mid-capsule to prioritize the conversation taking place directly in front of it. I was not expecting it to remove every passing car. No microphone can completely remove noise that is happening close to the person speaking. What I wanted to know was whether it could keep the conversation clear while reducing some of the sound arriving from the sides.
Rolling.
Action.
You love this bus stop too? Yeah. Never lets you down. Never judges. I've been dealt some cruel blows. I failed father. Perhaps we share the same goal in our search for love.
I've used the SG MS1 with phantom power for a few of my studio videos connected via the XLR directly to my Pixel 6K or via 3.5mm directly to my S1II. We'll come to that later. For a studio video like this, M mode makes the most sense because my voice is directly in front of the microphone and it sounds good. But if studio talking head videos are the only thing you record, I will not buy an MS stereo microphone just for that. A simpler directional microphone will do the job with less setup. The value here is that I can use it for this and then take the same microphone onto a film set or mount it directly onto my camera. If hearing the actual results before the marketing claims is useful to you, subscribe. That is how I test filmmaking equipment here on this channel. The third test was on my Lumix S1II. The microphone is mounted directly on top of the camera and connected through the 3.5mm input. There is no noise reduction or additional processing being applied in post. So now we're in the MS mode, and what this mode allows you to do is hear what's in front and what's at the side. So turning the camera away from me, you should still hear me loud and clear, and on this side you should still hear me loud and clear, and back to it facing me directly, I should be loud and clear. Another thing is that you hear all the wind hitting the mic from the sides. The good thing we had the dead cat or wind filter on it to hopefully control that wind noise or that stereo experience. Now the final one is when you set the mic to restrict what's in front and what's behind the mic and just pick up volume or audio from the side. So I'm going to turn the camera away from me, and then you should hear me very loud and clear on this side and very loud and clear on that side. Tell me, what do you guys think? Is it amazing? Now, the app situation is slightly more confusing than it needs to be. Saramonic currently has one app simply called Saramonic and another called Saramonic System. Both recognize the SG MS1 when I connected it to the app, but only the Saramonic System app gave me access to the microphone's adjustable settings. Once the microphone is connected over USB-C, the app detects it and warns you that other wireless audio devices will become available while the microphone is being used. After confirming that, you can see the microphone's battery level, current mode, gain settings, serial number, and firmware version. You can also perform a factory reset if you want to. The controls available inside the app change depending on the mode selected on the microphone. In MS mode, you can choose between recording the original, mid, and side signals or having the microphone decode them into normal left and right stereo. When you choose left-right stereo, you can adjust the recording angle from a relatively narrow 50 degrees all the way up to 140 degrees. That is one of the SG MS1's most useful features. At 50 degrees, the recording remains more focused towards what is happening in front of the microphone. As you increase the angles, more of the space on either side becomes part of the finished stereo image. The final option allows you to listen to the side signal on its own. That uses the figure 8 capsule, picking up sound from the left and right side while rejecting the front and the rear. Once you make your adjustments, the microphone remembers them. That is convenient, but it also means you should not assume it has returned to default setting when you begin another shoot. Before every job, check the mode, record a short test, listen to both channels, and make sure the output matches what your editor is expecting. For a two-person vlog or a quick reaction where I do not have the time to mic everyone individually, the adjustable stereo width is genuinely useful. But in a loud location where my voice needs to be isolated from everything around me, I would use a wireless microphone or get the SG MS1 much closer to the audio source. At the time of making this video, pricing has not yet been confirmed, but regardless of the final price, this is for someone who generally needs stereo capture and will use the control that MS gives them. It is not for somebody who wants the simplest microphone they can switch on and forget about. That is what makes the SG MS1 unique. It is not three completely different microphones inside one body. It is one flexible stereo microphone that becomes much more useful once you understand what each mode is doing. If you want to see how I paired the SG MS1 with the K9 XEX system on a short film, I'll link that video on screen and in the description. It's your Filmmaker. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. God bless and peace.